What's up, people? You're locked into the 2PRO1SLOW podcast. Brought to you by kexunderwear.com. The best underwear in the action sport game.
We're back 1 month later than we said we were going to be. You were supposed to do one 2 weeks after Billy left, but you didn't.
Don't single me out on this one.
Oh, no, you chucked it to the bottom of the totem pole, like your vlogs. Your vlogs have been missing as well.
They're back. I'm 2 Mondays in a row. Today we've
I'll give you credit. We did try and film one that went terribly wrong. So you would have been 3 in a row.
It was going terribly right, and too much was going right, and then it went horribly wrong. But we're going to revisit that another time.
Yeah. You know when you don't post much, do you?
I haven't introduced you yet.
There's a man that needs no introduction, aren't you?
This episode, we have the one, the only, the people's champion that have been asking to get on the podcast for months, maybe years. European champion, Mel, twice second in the British.
I think it was 3 times. Actually.
3 times second in the British.
BMXDN champ as well. That's where your status came from, didn't it? You sort of excelled at quite a busy race.
First time
MXDN there. People's champ. He's never actually won a race at that event.
No, but he raced with a broken leg. If that was you, you'd have gone home.
Yeah, I admitted that. I would have gone home straight away. You survived. He's still limping now from that day. He's walking around with a limp.
I know.
Hopping about.
Give us a quick catch up, Mel. What's been going on since then? That was August. It's now nearly December.
I had to go home with my tail between my legs and let it rest up. You know what it's like. We've all been there before. We've had injuries.
What was the injury?
So I buried.
You don't have to go quite as close to that.
Sorry.
What was the injury?
I broke the lower of my leg, which was the tibia. Is that the bigger bone?
Not sure.
Tibia, I think it is. And it had to be screwed back on there. It wasn't good. 2 massive, great big screws, and these 60 mil long with washers on the bottom of them.
Is it still in?
2 screws are still in there, and they've got to be in there a minimum of 10 months. So I'm looking at...
Oh, this could affect the prep for next year.
I'm looking at riding this season with them in, and I'm trying to put it to the back of my brain.
Well,
you know that
I was
feeling,
very surprised when I sort of, after that you'd done the race, we was racing, you broke your foot in the race, I was chuffed to nuts that I passed you. So I come over to the campus sort of gloating a little bit,
grin
all
on
happy,
your
like
face.
Big smile on my face, like, well, that was good, wasn't it? I beat you in that race, Mel. And you just looked at me like, get out of my face and get away from my camper. And I was a bit like, oh, right, what's happened? And he's just said, I think I broke my ankle. And then I was like, all right.
I was trying to get Julian, our physio, to massage it out. And oh my God, he was like, just hold on to the table, I'll give it a good rub out. And oh my God, it was in so much pain. He must have been going right over it was broke. Tommy comes over with the biggest grin on his face. I was like, Tom, not now, mate. Honestly, not now. You can't drill it into me now. So just give me 5 minutes.
Yeah, I did feel a bit bad after that. And then...
Yeah, you rode more of the weekend with it broke than you didn't with it.
So it was 2 laps to go on the first race of the weekend, Saturday morning. Clipped my foot off a bank, spun it round, and I just knew instantly my eyes dropped out of my head. And I was like, oh God, not good. That was not good, that feeling.
But you knew?
Yeah, straight away. I went up to the top of the hill, you turn left, it was the biggest jump down the hill, up the hill. I jumped the hill, jumped down, jumped up, and I thought, well, it's not that bad. And then it was just slowly getting worse and worse and worse. And I looked behind, there's the big... What number was you?
4.
I was going to say 100 then.
No, 4.
On the green machine. Give you the wave bars, like, come on, my friend.
No, you didn't wave me past in that one, I don't think.
It was the first race.
He did, he waved you past on the GoPro. On all of the races, he waved you past.
Said, you got to get on. I got a stick from that off that. I had a fan come up to me and say that I shouldn't do that. I had to correct him and say, I think I hurt my foot that race.
Yeah.
And it was a team race.
Well, no, but I'm not sure whether I'd have waved. If I was faster, if I was struggling, I would have waved you by to say, like, look, I'm letting him by. Even though, like, I couldn't keep up. I'd have been like, go on, mate. Like, oh, yeah, it's just playing as a team, wouldn't I? Like, didn't make a difference who won the race. Like, we just had to get there. So I'd have just sort of waved you by and then said I took my time. But
well, in Mel's defence, he was waving you by so you could probably go on and try and catch Bobrashev.
Yeah, no, he helped me a lot that weekend. He waved me by a lot. And then...
Even on the second day, I managed to outgate you and you still had to come through.
Yeah, my bike was not the fastest machine on the track that weekend.
Actually, he was all cocky in qualifying, wasn't he? But he got the lap scoring wrong, and you out-qualified him as well.
Yeah, out-qualified him.
Because he just went balls to the wall on the first lap, and that one didn't count.
Yeah, well, as Mel mentioned in the video we done before, before he broke his foot, he beat me in qualifying, and he was beating me in the race before he broke his foot. So
I reckon the weekend would have looked quite different for you.
Yeah, it may have done.
The effort that went in behind the scenes, I was really hoping it was going to go my way, but
we'll have a rematch in next August, won't we?
Talk about the effort you went to, because we make fun of the effort you went to that race.
Do you want me to give you a little rundown?
Yeah, I just want, not the week, where it starts for you, the prep for that race.
Well, the last 7 days leading up to that race were the most horrendous time I've ever had. I almost pulled the pin 48 hours before. I was going to have to call you up and say, I can't do this. It's all got too much. I had an engine blow up the Friday before the event. I had to call Johnny Gifford builds the engines for that event. So there I was, run it in, nice as pie. Zach turned up as well, he come over from America. And he was like, man, it sounds so good, that bike. I was like, yeah, it's mint. I'm really happy with it. Big grin on my face. And I thought, right, I'm just going to do one more session on it. That's it. We're going to turn it into race prep, race plastics. And it blew up. The next session, it blew up. So that was the Saturday.
How much money was that down the pan?
It was a cylinder.
Because you're paying for all your own parts.
A cylinder and a piston, obviously all the relevant gaskets that go with it. We managed to get that rebuilt overnight, and it blew up again on the Saturday. Turned out it was the crank that was letting go, so we managed to get it rebuilt over again. Couldn't get on the bike until Tuesday afternoon because we was waiting for crank parts. John again had the engine and bits, rebuilt it. So that was the third time before the race on Fox Hills. We was leaving Thursday morning because everyone gets there early, and my dad wants to get there the first camper pull in. And so we got the bike running Tuesday night, and it was a warm day, and my track was sun-dried, baked. It's just like an absolute dry concrete road. And it got it running at 4 o'clock in the afternoon in the sun. It was hazy, and just, don't normally ride my track past 3 o'clock. Dad went, go right down the bottom and run it in. So I just banged my boots on, had my shorts, just put a helmet on, went straight down the bottom. And there I am, just cruising around running it in, and a little muntjac deer
Oh yeah, I remember.
Jumps out the fence, and I hit the side of it, and I go ba-ba, like this, and I just stamp my foot down so hard, and I just throw the bike up the track, and I skid up the track, and I had shorts on, and I've just gone across all the dry. The gravel, it's all cut my elbow, and I've got a massive bruise, graze, burn on my hip, and I've cracked my knuckles, and it's just the worst Tuesday evening of my life. I've driven up, Dad's gone, how's it gone? And I've just gone, just blood everywhere.
I thought you was joking.
Couldn't make it up. So that was the Tuesday. But yeah, no, it turns out the engine was all good, and I had to go and see Julian again, get physio before the event, and load everything up Wednesday, gone Thursday morning. So yeah, the lead up to that event was treacherous.
I do remember the story about the deer, and I thought you was joking. And
no,
when
I
I turned up to the race, your leg was bright purple. So it all started a long way before it was going wrong.
Well, it's about January.
What? Oh,
that's when the spend starts, because he gets on eBay, starts finding all the bits and the parts, and then Mel, his dad, and his brothers all like to buy every single part and bike they can find to make one good one. Yeah, there's fucking amount of them's outrageous. And then
it's a stressful time leading up to that event.
And then he does this thing, sort of like what Billy does, where he just don't say anything. You've been practicing? No. No. You've been riding that bike? No. But really, when you find out he's been on it for 25 hours,
when
the
he
engine's
went up there, his brothers say
we were suspension
put
testing,
some hours in on that
gearing,
thing.
jetting.
The first day we went to make the video of him on his Cowie,
I wouldn't let him in.
Brett said when you went off, he went, he has done some training on that bike.
Was you a little bit gutted I beat you in that race?
I was more than gutted to come away with that place with a broken leg and you beating me. Yeah,
well, it was a bit
I was deflated.
You've got one good thing that came out of it though.
What?
You got a saying that I've sloganed into a T-shirt that's coming out in a few days.
That rolled off the tongue pretty well. What was it?
What was it? Sundays are for racing, Mondays for X-rays. Yeah. I've made you a merch T-shirt for that.
Thank you.
People have asked for that.
Is that out for Christmas?
It'll be out December the 1st.
I'm excited for that. Thank you.
You can wear it to Arenacross.
The best thing that actually happened that weekend was a set of crutches were delivered to me Sunday morning, and I was so grateful for them.
Because I thought you was making that up. I generally to the start line.
No. Do you know? No, Billy McKenzie as well. I was hobbling to do my gate.
He's saying, and he stamped on it or something.
He tripped me up. I literally, all of this was, I've never felt so much anger wave over me. I just wanted to whack him.
Tommy got him back though. He crashed in front of Tommy on the GoPro and his leg come out. Tommy just rode at his leg.
Straight
He
over.
just kicked me. He went. I was like, "No, mate." No.
But it was a good weekend.
Yeah, it was a good weekend for me.
And then I think you need redemption really next year.
Yeah, we're in, aren't we?
I don't think you thought that I was going to have it for you on the Cowie.
You rode that bike so well. You rode the absolute wheels of that bike. I'll give it to you. I could hear it bottoming out everywhere. The wheel was touching the mudguard. You was on the throttle way before I was ever on the throttle. You was
because it was slower.
I was pulling up on the hills. I had the
but
run
not
on the
much, a
other
little bit. But I think when you got a slower bike, you can obviously it had that little
Did
power
you
that
not
I
think
could
the
just go.
suspension was soft on that bike?
Yeah, suspension was way too soft. You told me that before the race, though.
Funny that, isn't it? A lot of people tell you a lot of things, you don't listen to them.
Yeah, a bit like my merch that's just come. I've had a bit of a problem with my merch. They sort of give me some designs, and then they've come, and they're not. I'm not as happy with them, and I see Bill's merch and Ed's new stuff, and then I'm like, I design my own stuff, and I'm a bit like, oh, yours looks good, doesn't it? Yours looks good. Oh yeah, mine's sort of not the right colour there.
Who's designed that T-shirt you've done for me?
Bradley, the guy that works
You
for
happy
me.
with it?
Yeah, it's good.
He's not had a go at it then.
No, he's not.
No,
I
touched
did
it.
have an input with one of the colours, and then you changed it back, I think.
To the X-ray T-shirt.
Yeah, because I said you should do it in like a bone colour,
Yeah, that was the one input you made.
and you kept
Have you
that.
put
I
any
did keep
screws
that.
in the bone?
I think there's a break in the bone.
Is
I
there?
can't remember off the top of my head.
It's a good T-shirt.
I was
though.
convinced I sprained my ankle that day.
What? Yeah, I was surprised when you went to the hospital whenever you went.
Do you know
and
what
come
was
back.
quite contrasting is you've done that and you've hurt yourself at that race
Yeah,
and you just twatted a bank.
yeah. Easy as that.
6 months prior to that, you was jumping on tough blocks, diving over people's heads in Arenacross, smashing metal fence walls, and you was unscathed the whole time.
Got away with murder at Arenacross, didn't I? Quite literally got away with murder. And then
You actually,
the smallest of clips and not good.
how many sets of handlebars did you do?
Well, we started with the brand ODI and finished with the brand RFX because I think ODI ran out of handlebars that I was using. So
That's
I
good.
don't know how many handlebars that
I mean,
was.
you would have done 6 sets in the 6 rounds.
We lost plastics, subframes.
What is your
bent
count
discs.
for that? You did, and you ended up snapping a collarbone of someone else.
No, it's,
You
no,
did, that's a bit.
that wasn't.
He's still sensitive about that
No.
subject. Cross-jumped someone.
Matt's.
Poor old Matt Bayless was just,
He was minding his own business in that race.
No, he was. I know he got hurt. No one ever wants to see anyone get hurt, but he was riding dirty with me, wasn't he? Yeah, he was. He was. You agree?
head to head at Wembley. He was standing on Elliot Banks Brown's bike.
He deserved that and all.
Are you excited for it coming up this
I
year?
am. I just don't.
What happened in
I
Birmingham?
just don't like thinking about get the jitters. I had
Birmingham, you-
Nando's and went downhill real quick.
you just didn't want to ride,
No,
did you?
I was up for Birmingham. And
You
then,
won. That was you were
got
struggling the
sick.
most with that track.
Yeah, well, I couldn't triple that one triple section, so I was sick, and that was it.
No, that was good. Good crack. That's coming up soon.
Adam
so,
Wells was jumping this triple, and what class is he in?
Amateur All Stars, I
Yeah,
think.
it went step on, step off, triple, and I just had the biggest mental block that I couldn't do it, and I just went out to watch the next class out that come out, and Adam was jumping it. I thought,
straight away he jumped it
Yeah.
too. I was like, wow.
just put me in my place, really.
I don't know whether you should be in that class, but you are going to race the pro class again this year.
I think I deserve to be in the pro class. Do you think?
Entertainment wise, you definitely deserve to be in it.
I had a few not bad results, to be honest.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
It all started
You've
at
done no
Belfast
practice, though.
with a good lot of...
Mm.
You had all the tough blocks right around your rear wheel at Belfast, and that's where it sort of started.
Yeah, I hit the chain link fencing a couple of times. I hit the concrete floor so slippery.
What was your favourite track?
Probably, it's got to be Wembley. That was a good weekend. That was a good night for me. That was.
That was my
I
worst
didn't get
one.
through the qualification. I went through all the head-to-heads, straight off the head-to-heads, straight into the main, still sweating. Pulled a ripper of a start and was at the front.
from the outside.
But I must have done the most laps around that place that night. I enjoyed it. I was getting a step on, step off. I just felt...
Triple on, off.
Yeah, I felt like a full AMA star.
Well, you'd come up here and done a day before, and then you got the hang of the triples, and then I think that'd give you a lot more confidence.
Oh, the week before you blew my TikTok up.
I flipped it, didn't I?
You tried to wheelie through the whoops like Eli Tomac and looped it, and it got 500,000 views on TikTok.
That's good
I was
going.
looking at the mud guard in your workshop. I crashed today, and I snapped the front guard off, and I've put it next to the mud
Oh,
guard.
have I got a new?
Yeah.
Oh, nice souvenir.
Didn't I?
Where did it all start? Because people are obviously seeing you from they know you. Most people just know you from racing. You've raced GPs, British Championship. You've won a European title, which is massive, whichever way you look at it. And then, but how did it all start? Like for you, your career coming up?
What, from the beginning?
Yeah, from like the beginning.
Me and my old man go racing.
But you got like,
It's probably same.
same, similar to me. I used to come racing with you. I know that.
Well,
In the
I
British
used to-
Jam-
to be honest,
in the
where it
British.
started was coming over and playing at pit bikes at yours. How young was we then?
I must have been
10?
10, 11. I was a little bit older. I was probably 11.
CRO 50s. Mini Bike Pro, CRO 50.
Yeah,
you
Tristan,
had
Mini
you had
Bike
a black
Pro.
one, I had a blue one. Billet
Yeah.
wheels. Did you have billet wheels on
Yeah.
yours? Yeah, it was cool. We was cool, weren't we?
Don't know about cool, but
Oh,
we had
that's-
cool little tracks, and we used to ride mini bikes all day,
Yeah.
every day, all day long.
Yeah. In and out the house too.
We didn't know it then.
No, when I very first met you, or when I met Tommy before, and then he brought you up a few times, I actually said to Tommy, "Don't bring that knob back up."
None of you lot like me really.
No, I liked you, and then we didn't
I
like
had
you
to
for
do
a
a
bit,
lot
and
of-
then you come back.
You was
You lot used to bully me.
No, you was just really annoying at one
Mate,
stage.
used to bully me.
No, you was. You was bad.
I felt like I was the outer of the. I was the odd one out all the time.
Yeah, then you'd come around. We like you.
You was the geezer I used to remember. You was on a bike at Dixon Yamaha, bright blue gear,
With an orange helmet.
orange hair, and an orange helmet.
661 orange helmet.
That was my dad's idea to wear that orange helmet so he could see me around the track.
Well, it worked.
No, but you used to race Mid Sussex Guess with me.
Yeah,
You got dad used to race.
Yeah.
You got 3 other brothers that raced.
yeah.
When you used to race together, he used to win.
No, I'm older.
No, he was always a bit better.
No,
Was he
it's
always
class
in the
above.
class above as well?
Yeah.
Oh.
How old are you? You're 2 years old, 3 years older than you. Yeah, so he was always a little bit.
I don't remember ever racing
On
you as a
me.
kid.
No, the first proper terror I've had for you is probably Fox Hills. No,
What?
actually,
No,
I beat
we've-
you at Fox Hills a while ago as well, didn't I? When it got red flagged and back.
Oh yeah, we had a race then. I passed him, and then the race got back flat. Took a lap back, and he actually beat me.
What did you went British first and then Europeans?
So I actually went British Championship, and then I was riding for Steve Dixon on the bike at Yamaha at the time. And my year schedule was going to be, we could probably go back now, 2008, 2009. I was going to ride for and do British Championship and the odd BYMX Nationals. Coming into the year, I think it was Martin Barr at the time crashed and broke his shoulder. And Steve went, well, you can go GPs if you want. Dad, my old man being my old man, was just like, yeah, that's fine. You can manage that. And I went to a load of GPs, just never qualified. Back from them days.
It's hard
where-
then.
Yeah.
Really hard.
That was in the days when you didn't
15, I
pay.
think
It was
I
like
15.
yeah, it was last chance qualifiers and all sorts.
Last chance qualifiers. Yeah. I remember dangerous last lap, one lap dashes. You've probably been in that
Yeah,
situation before. It's a
GPs
horrible place to be.
Yeah, GPs then. I remember, and I went into it the first year. You had heat races, 12 out of each heat. 12 riders out of each heat went through, 6 from the last chance. So there was only 30 on a line as well back
I
then.
remember in Ireland, you
Very
was
nice.
up in the championship near the front battling for the championship, and you went through the last chance and only just scraped
Yeah,
in.
got like 6th in the last chance, and I think I was 2nd in the world at that point. Because the French riders were so fast in the last chance, and there used to be so many French riders.
Could pull a one lap together
Yeah.
and just bang it in.
You would struggle.
Like
I think
headless
one year,
chickens.
Caroli, I think he even won the World Championship or something and didn't qualify for one of the races.
Really?
Something like that. I might have that completely wrong. But I know he definitely won a GP one year, but also didn't qualify the same year because it was difficult then to qualify now.
Yeah, you just only got cock
off you
up.
go straight in, yeah. But yeah, I think that would have been 2009
2009.
because I think I'd gone to America then.
Yeah. Yeah. He was Rockstar status already then.
Yeah, I was
That's
up
just
and
that
moved
video's
on.
just resurfaced.
Oh,
actually.
no.
Oh, this is the bit where he's going
That
to...
reminds me of that
This is
video.
the bit where he's going to ask me to cut this bit. What's the reel you're on about?
Terrible. It's a bad video that's come out.
Don't talk about the accent or the hair choice.
There's a video that's been circulating for about 2 weeks now, and Tommy's thought that if he just doesn't mention it, he can hide away from it. And we've been telling him, look, you were a knob, and it's just best to embrace it.
I can't watch the video. I get goosebumps. I go really hot. I start sweating. I've watched it once on. I listened. I thought, right, just watch it. It's out there. What's it matter if you watch it? Like, just watch the video. Anyway, I started playing it. I just wanted to smash my phone up on the floor. And then I'm laying in bed that night. I can't even sleep. And then I'm like, no, just try and watch it. And then I turned it to silent. And I can stomach it in silence. Like, I've got a bad haircut. I've got bastard sunglasses on.
and you're being an outrageous
I can get over that because I thought that was cool at the time. But the really bad thing, and what I say is bad in it, but the accent and what I say together is really bad.
Yeah, I'd rather get 10th than look good.
I can remember watching that video thinking, that's not my mate I used to ride pit bikes with. I don't know that.
No,
I don't know who that is.
I'd adopted an American accent after about 3 weeks of being
get
there.
10th and look good than 5th.
Yeah, it's awful. I wish you didn't bring it up, but they keep saying you should own it. Just repost it.
You should put that back on your...
Just repost it and just say, look, I was a fucking bad human being. But
maybe we could put it in a little bit of it in the start of my YouTube.
You'll never watch YouTube again if I put it in your vlog.
Not the vlog, but just like the thing, only the good bit. It's really bad. Like,
there must be more videos.
I've got hard drives full of how much of a bad human he used to be.
Mate, he emailed me and he just put, I've got a good interview of you in America. It's funny. Can you collab on Instagram? And I just went, no, certainly not.
This is before he'd even seen it. He went, no way.
Nah, I knew what he was talking about. I knew the footage and I just went, I don't want any part of this. And just thought, if I leave it at that, he won't collab me. 10 days later, I just see it come up. And I just went, no.
I think Jake Millwood reposted it
twice.
Jake's put it on
to really make sure everyone completely did see it.
Oh, it's tragic. I keep getting tagged in it now. Someone else reposted it. Like,
I'll post it after this podcast just in case anyone's missed it.
No, I don't want to be.
It's a great one that surfaced.
But back to me. Back to Mel.
All right, yeah.
2009. You was Dixon Yam trying to qualify. Did you qualify at all that year or not?
Ferry House in Ireland was the last GP of the year. I managed to get in.
Not a lot of riders turned up.
No, probably not. I managed to get. I was the last one coming onto the start line I actually got 31st, and I didn't get in on the first race, but I got into the second race.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that was it. I qualified. I classed that as a win.
You're
when
in
I qualified.
First reserve. If you raced the race, you're in.
Yeah. And then I didn't finish that race. I think I crashed out.
And in 2010?
2010, I think I went to race for
Suzuki,
I'm pretty sure. Philip Neal.
Relentless Tass Suzuki, wasn't it?
Tass Suzuki, yeah.
GPs again?
No, all British Championship racing. I did a minute. I did another 4 years GP in 2010. GP for Steve Dixon.
So 11.
In 2011, I went to Suzuki because then 2012 I went back to Steve Dixon to win the European Championship.
That's when you won?
Yeah.
No, that can't be right.
Yeah, no, that's right. I was 2012 European
But what year was you?
Because I come off the Suzuki's.
He done the odd GP in 2012 as well.
You did the odd GP.
Yeah, I did the odd fill-in GP.
Yeah, because that's the year that you held Hurlings up.
Yeah.
Good that is. We can put that in this vlog. That's one you can.
And he called you a twat on live TV. Pocock, such a twat.
This whole thing.
No, I wouldn't.
This whole thing.
We wasn't even that friendly at that point.
It all started.
You'd live with me that winter.
I lived with you that winter.
So we're back friends again at this point.
We're back friends. You're back from America. You're back English again.
Yeah, it took me about 8 months to get back into the swing of...
Yeah. And then you said, you need to start training because you had a tough year in 2010 doing GPs, and then I was doing your British Championship 2011. You said, look, you need to up your game. I remember it. You said, come and train with Kirk. Okay, well, who's Kirk? It's guy I train with, blah, blah, blah. So this is how it all happened. I started coming up to Derby.
Elliot Banks Brown, me and you lived in
the student house in Derby Central.
No, first we was in the apartment.
Yeah, in the apartment, that was it. And it was a student.
That's funny because you was big rivals with Elliot.
Big rivals with Elliot all that year, banging bars, want to just kick his face in it every time I see him. There we are, staying in the same house. and
training in the same gym.
Training in the same trainer and becoming friends. He's actually all right now, isn't he?
Yeah, I like Elliot. I've always liked Elliot.
Yeah, well, I've liked him on and off. I didn't really like him in Wembley last winter, but he's just that guy for me, isn't it? There's a few of them guys out there for me.
Yeah, you seem to get.
But no, I like Elliot. Yeah, we've we ended up staying that winter with Kirk and training, and then that was the year we went European racing, GP racing, and British Championship. I had racing head to head with Elliot all year whilst training, and staying with him was.
That was a good crack because we all used to end up booking the same sort of hotels because there used to be me, you, Jakesy, Tommy, your mum would come, sometimes your dad would come.
Sam Davis, or was it
Sam was
Scott Probert was coming?
Probert was coming, yeah. He used to come up. We used to go out on a Thursday night, didn't we?
Scream Dream.
Night, Scream Dream.
Yeah. Yeah, I can remember, I don't tell Kirk this, but I can remember being chucked out of the club at 4 o'clock in the morning and being back at the running track at 7 in the morning. He's going, "You look so strong this morning." And I'm like, running round in circles.
We used to have to get to the running track.
I can't wait to go back to sleep once this is done.
We used to have to be at the running track for 7 o'clock in the morning. It was midwinter, so it's like November, December was pre-season, and we would...
I think one time I can remember waking up in my going out clothes, taking them off, putting my gym clothes on and going to the gym track.
Oh. That was a hard morning. Tuesdays and Thursdays would be at the running track, and then from the running track to the swimming pool. I remember the one time we done it, I had to go to Geneva to race the Supercross.
Oh God, I can remember you being
and I
sick
woke
all
up.
night.
We went out, and then I woke up and went to Geneva, and you woke up and went to the gym.
Yeah.
I remember you saying, "I've just done the best time ever." Don't know what's happened.
Still pissed.
Never ran so fast.
Now I'm up with the kids trying to get them back to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning rather than with you and I.
But no, we had a good winter, and then obviously...
So in 2012, you won the European Championship.
Yep, so it was...
won the European, lost the British.
Lost the British.
And entered some GPs.
I was leading the British right until the last round of Little Silver, and the bike went into neutral and lost.
Yeah, I was filming for Moto Magazine that day, and I've got everything that happened on all the crashes, everything. I managed to capture the whole lot.
That was a hellish of a day out. That was a serious day out for both me and Elliot. I went into the last round of the British 17 points ahead. To me, I sort of thought I had it in the bag. 3 races on the day that time. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And the super final was with
450.
the 450.
And you whole shot the first race,
Yeah.
and it got red flagged
Yeah.
because someone jumped the gate.
Yeah.
And then you got shafted in the last race.
Yeah. The middle race, my bike went into neutral and was still running and wouldn't go back into gear.
Yeah, I've got a good video of you holding it, throwing it on the floor, and then having a full paddy on the way
I had
out.
a full paddy. I'm not going to lie. I had a full paddy. I'd come off the back of winning the European, so pumped and excited to think I was going to win the British Championship as well. I was so on cloud nine. I was like, it's all going my way. We had T-shirts made and everything, and posters and banners.
Really?
Yeah, we was full on ready for everything. And then, like Ed said, whole shot the first race out in the lead, red flag. Oh my God, it just turned the day upside down for me. I think that upset me straight away. I thought, no.
First race was red flagged as well.
Yeah, first race. I think it might have been race. Bradshaw that hit the gate.
No, the last race was red flagged for the gate. Yeah. The super final.
Super final was red flagged. Elliot went down in one of the races.
Elliot went down on the super final first race that got red flagged, and you snuck round the inside and whole shot. Someone hit the gate and Elliot's crashed and dead last. Yeah. And then they red flagged it and the reverse happened. Yeah. Elliot whole shot and Mel was fucked off the start. Yeah.
Honestly, looking back, I should have losing that British Championship that day. And also, I didn't drive. This is another thing that really got me. Chris was driving the crafter home that night. I got in the back and just basically cried the whole way home until he said, "Mel, the van's running out of fuel." I said, "The fuck's going? How have you run the van out of fuel?" He basically ran the van out of fuel on the way home. Because I think he was so in a mess as well. He got a little bit flapped up. And I can remember us just driving around and I was just crying in the back, and I just the van was running out of fuel, and Chris was all flappy because he gets flappy like this and gets a little bit shaky when things don't go quite his way, and he's just not hasn't got a backbone in him sometimes. Melts. And
if I could just slam your mate under the bus.
He's one of my best mates. But I was just crying, and he was almost crying, and we was in the crafter, and I'd lost the British Championship, and then I saw a T-shirt on the floor that was in the footwell, Mel Pocock British Champion, and I was it's just the way home, and I just didn't get over it. It ruined Christmas. I went out. I got so drunk with Chris, and we was just in the local pub. It took us an hour and a half to get home, and we're only around the corner. And I just didn't get over it. I just from that day, I really think I needed cancelling because I lost the British Championship.
That bad, you reckon?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, proper done me over. I didn't do the British Championship next year. I just took a GP only contract because I was still I was so
you couldn't go through it all again.
No. The highs and the lows, and I can't even remember what Steve said. He just didn't even say much. He goes, "Wow, these things happen, don't they?"
Honestly, the day was unbelievable.
Just looking now, it's over 10 years ago, and it just still revs boils my blood. I never won it since. I guess that's why I'm here now in a Kawasaki t-shirt and a jumper.
We're gonna have another go.
Maybe have another go at it, but
yeah, but the problem is Elliot's thought the same.
Yeah, I know.
You're still there now.
So that was 2012. I really, really thought I'd won the British Championship and I'd won the European Championship, and I just
Did you win the Euros after that? Or was the British the last race?
No, you won European.
I won the European already. That was in Maggiora. Was it Maggiora?
I can't remember where you won it.
Yeah, that was good.
You was having
lost
a few.
The rear brake on the last race of that one and all.
What, that was a close championship?
No, I'd won it. I'd won a lot of the rounds.
No, it wasn't. I think it was Fermo.
Fermo, that was it. Yeah.
That was the last GP, so you won it the last round because... Oh, no, it wasn't the last round. I lost... I'm thinking if I lost the World Championship to Tyler Rattray in... no, it wasn't Fermo. It was... It
was Italian track.
I remember you on the podium. It wasn't Fermo. Fermo was the one on the side of the hill with all the jumps. This was...
yeah, you dropped down the hill.
No.
Where you had that one really, really wet race.
Yeah, that's not called Fermo. It's not Faenza.
Oh, it might have been Faenza.
Pull it up on the stats page.
It's Faenza. It's Faenza.
Yeah.
Because I raced there. Tyler beat me there for the World Championship. And then I remember you on the podium.
The same sort of feeling of... when you just thought you had it, and I just...
No, I was never like down to the wire. I knew that was the last round, but when I lost to Tyler, I went 1-1 and
he's lost the British Championship by a couple of points to Carl Nunn and had a few cries as well on the way.
Yeah, I've had a cry in the British Championship.
I needed sports psychiatrists after that because I just couldn't get over it.
But are you serious or not? I don't know if you're taking a piss or not.
I'm deadly serious.
In 2012, is that the year you was bashing Ferrandes up as well in the Euros, or was that...
No, it was Geyser. Tim Geyser.
Tim Geyser was in the Europeans with
Jeremy Sewer.
Yeah.
Julian Lieber.
He beat some big names there.
When you look back, at the time I was racing at the GPs. I used to hear your little podium you'd won it before, and I would be getting my gear on, and I would hear like... and now I've been like... And I just didn't even watch his race because I was trying to get my gear on, and I'd be out after his race, but... I remember a couple
I've got some really good like embedded memories from like feeling proud of them days.
Really?
Like,
yeah.
It was.
You done well.
I think it was pre like
when
early
you look
days
at that
of
list
Instagram
now,
and Facebook, and I never used to even post anything. Let's come
It
home.
wasn't out.
No.
Instagram wasn't out in 2012.
And I can remember like messaging a few of my mates saying "won again," and a couple of them would write back saying "well done." But now, if you had videos and this, that, and the other, I try and look for videos of me and pictures of me winning that championship, and it's like blurred pictures and stuff. Like it's strange.
No,
isn't it?
Instagram wasn't out in 2012 because I first started, and my very last GP, and it's like the last GP I ever won was 2012, the last MX2 race I done in Germany, Tuschenthal. I went 1-1, and I just posted a picture up of me and Zach Osborne doing a whip in the fairground on the night. It was when Instagram, you just take a picture, bosh it straight up.
There was no like the app.
Yeah, you take it on the app, fairground, edit it in the app.
Don't touch that mic.
And then bosh it up. Yeah, so when you won, there was no Instagram then.
No, just come home. Just remember just coming back and everyone going, well done. Dad going, well done. Mum going, well done.
But you beat big names.
Yeah,
also,
I think there was more the early days for a lot of them riders that everyone sits and watches now.
Yeah, if you pull the PDF up, it's cool to say you've beat those names.
Yeah.
Good names and all. Like when you
I remember the first European I did going down to St. John Angeli, and me and Dad and us boys drove the RS down there, and it was a big deal because I can remember the old man going, if you don't qualify, we've got to drive all the way back again if you don't qualify. And I polled qualifying and won the first two races. It was just out of this world.
What year was that?
2012 was the first round of Europeans that I did.
I have.
And that was in front of a massive crowd, and it was French, and I beat who did I race against he was French, he was second.
Biel?
Desprez.
Maxime Desprez. Yeah, I remember you having big battles with Maxime Desprez. Wasn't he on Dixon as well?
Not that year, but yeah, he eventually ended up being a teammate to me in 2014.
Yeah, I remember. I don't know why. I was in my camper up in the car park, and I just remember getting changed, looking out the window, and you was on the podium, and then I was getting ready to go down to my race. Always, I don't know why, that was in my head, and then you said St. John, and I was like, I remember that one. Didn't know that was the first round.
I used to absolutely, I've won, because I won quite a lot of them rounds. If not, I was on the podium. I used to just bounce around the pits after that. I was like, fuck it.
Did you take a podium bag ready?
I must have had one ready. I must have had stuff ready, yeah. I think Chris, I had Chris.
Yeah, but Chris had your podium bag ready. Yeah. Spare jerk, goggles.
Yeah.
We had that.
Rianne, I think.
We packed that with confidence.
Yeah.
Like, fucking, we're going to need this. Of course we're going to need this.
2007, 8, 11, 12, when we come back, Ed had just like, I need a shirt for the podium bag. And it was just like, you didn't question it.
It was normal. Like,
yeah, it was just, all right, mate. You've got a jersey in there, pack that, see you at the podium. It was just so... It was weird.
I remember you standing on.
You look back.
You were standing on podiums in 3rd and 2nd place, pissed off.
Yeah, really pissed off. I remember being
like, if you was on the podium in 3rd, you were fuming.
Yeah, it was
you
bad
wasn't
day.
quite the people's person back then, was you? Like you are now.
No, if someone would have tried shaking my hand after a 3rd, I'd have wanted to whack them. No, I wasn't a people's person. I thought I didn't realise I was as bad as what I was until sometimes I speak to people and they'll go. I done a presentation the other week and went, you've done our presentation, you give the trophies out and you just cleared off back up to your room. And I was like, no, I can't have done. They're like, you did. And it was like, you gave us a helmet as well to give away, but it had no inners in it. And I'm like, I can't have done that. Like, you did, yeah. And then you had done the presentation, I think, a couple of years later because you were talking about it.
We've done some presentations.
And then she went, at the end of the night, you did say you was really pissed up the night before, and then you showed us a picture, and I had the picture on my phone. I was bollock naked, being sick in the sink in Derby, while sat on the toilet seat, and she had it on her phone, this woman. She was about, I don't know, older.
She had the picture?
Yeah, she had the picture, and I'm just like, she was like, I've still got it here, look. And I'm like, what? This is...
What, you sent her the picture?
Yeah, she was like, at the end of the night, you sent me this, and I don't know, I'm adamant I would not have sent that picture, but she had it anyway. She was like, you was real hungover, so it made a bit of sense after. I'm like, anyway, I didn't know where the story was going. She went, you've got the picture here, and I'm just like, what? Yeah, I wasn't a people's person then, by the sounds of things, when I hear stories back.
No, I was going to go back to the Hurlins thing because that was 2012, wasn't it?
Yeah, what actually happened in that whole scenario?
Right, so
this was at Aguada, wasn't it?
He was dicing for the World Championship. Him and Erlins were dicing for the World Championship, and it all started at Twitter was a big thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, Twitter was.
And you could tweet like, "No, tomorrow," and I was just thought you're invincible on there. So I put one day.
Oh,
me and him were talking.
How this started.
We were talking. I was paying him rent to stay in the Derby house, and he said, "Well, if you help me, you won't have to pay monthly rent anymore." So I thought, easy done by me, innit?
Yeah.
Well, you wrote that on Twitter.
No, I said retweet if you want me to. I said like retweet if you want me to take Hurlins out or something along the lines.
Yeah, because someone. Yeah, because I didn't realise this.
It was as if this is when it all happened with Arnold Tonus, and it was all a big mess, wasn't it? Arnold Tonus and
because Tonus was riding for your team as well.
Tonus was in the Dixon team. Hurlins was going out with Tonus' sister, so it was all quite little bit. I was mates with Tommy, and Hurlins knew that, and there was a big rivalry between these three.
Is this the same time that Hurlins took out Tonus in the same year?
St. John.
St. John, and then you wrote.
I wrote on the back of that saying retweet if you want me to take him out, Tommy win the World Championship or something like that, and I just thought nothing of it. Blosh pushed it out.
I don't think it was those.
It was something like that.
Exact tweet, but something you said something about brake checking or doing something odd, and then the event actually happened.
Yeah, so then I get to the next GP, and I got called into FIM office to see Longo, and he had printed out, he had a folder with my name at the top of it. Me and Steve Dixon had to go in there.
This is before you'd done anything?
Before I'd even touched Hurlins. I just literally put that, and he said, Mel, we've seen your social media. This is unacceptable, blah, blah, blah. And he had printed out all of my Facebook and Twitter. He had my name at the top. And I just looked for it, and he said, Mel, did you do this? I said, well, yeah. he is better, you know, that's it now. So nothing like vendetta against, like, towards riders or anything like that. I was like, well, you know, it was a
harmless tweet.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't realise I was going to get like a little bit of a.
Did you get a warning or anything, or like?
No, he just said basically like,
can't do that.
No, like, can't do that sort of thing from a sportsman. So Steve was like, didn't really care much. Like, that was it, really.
No, Steve wouldn't. He don't care.
He just was like, ha ha ha. That was like.
He would have liked that. That would have been
attention,
funny after Friday night. Good Friday for Steve.
Yeah. And I was always in and out a little bit of the FIM office anyways for jumping on yellows or just like the carry on. I've always was in the hustle bustle, took someone out. So, Mel, can you come back in the office? Look, whose fault was it? And all that. I had a big run-in with Charlotte, you know, just run-ins after run-ins. So I was pretty common going in and out the old FIM office. Anyways, so we're at Aguida, aren't we? Portugal. And I was doing all right. I was like 6th or 7th in the race, MX2. And I'm like giving it some. I'm happy. Like a 6th or 7th for me, that's bang on the money. Massive Steve paid me the bonus money ever, but I was bang on the money that I thought I was getting. And blue flagged. I thought, fucking hell, I'm in 6th or 7th. I looked behind. Off a jump, quite big jumps are in there, floaty jumps, and they were the old school floaty jumps. I looked behind, there's Jeffrey Hurlins. You know, blue flag. Jumped again. Tommy's behind Jeffrey, and I just thought, deep ruts here, isn't there, around this corner?
What, you actually thought?
Yeah, I just thought, well, I'm not going to move over. So I just dropped down into the inside of the rut. He was behind me, revving and roaring. I thought, why has he done that? Why would someone of his caliber drop in the same rut as me? So I just banged it. I just put the brakes on. And it went bang in the back.
This was 2 laps to go.
You passed him on the outside, didn't you?
Jeffrey was still behind me, and I'm guessing you were still behind Jeffrey. I go to the next hairpin, go around the inside. He'd gone in the rut behind me again, and I put the brakes on again. Bang! Revving and roaring. I just thought, thick ass, right? Why would you do that? He knows I'm his mate. Like,
yeah, at that point, I must have gone round the outside.
You went right round the outside of the pair of us.
I think it was
the top.
Yeah, you jumped down the hill, jumped again, and then it went hairpin right, left, table, and you passed him on the face of the table.
You passed us both. Anyways, the crowd erupted and freaking everyone went mental.
Did you win the race?
Yeah. So I've come round, gone flat out up past the pit lane, and Jeffrey didn't overtake me. And I've just seen this pitboard, this KTM pitboard, frisbeed out of the pit lane. And I've just gone, whoa! Fucking hell, that would have hurt if that hit me. Mate, it's the size of that table.
Wait, so the bit where he passed you...
Jeffrey never passed him in that race,
he said he was
scared.
Take him out. He was going to scare
That was the start of the lap, so he followed you for a whole lap.
He followed me the whole way round.
The whole next lap.
Yeah, he didn't overtake me because he thought I was going to take him out. So
so you must have won by a fair bit then.
I did, yeah. Won by about 15 seconds.
Oh, wow.
So this pitboard got frisbeed out of the pit lane, and I've just seen it just shimmered off this, and I've just gone. It was the size of this table.
Yeah, those big wooden things.
It would have proper hurt. Anyways, I didn't know, but Steve caught the and went running around into the KTM order and just got someone up against the side and was just like, this is all second hand.
Why can't I remember any of it?
This all
Dixon, I remember Dixon fighting.
Dixon went fighting in the KTM awning, and I've just like gone over the finish round, and Jeffrey's like revving and roaring and like trying to drive and bet me to stop. Anyways, I've carried on through and just gone up to the Yamaha thing and just thought,
just finished your race as normal.
I just thought,
sick, that'll do.
I just thought, well, Tommy won that.
No, I got a 7.
I ain't got to pay rent. Like, I'm not paying rent this month. That's ideal in my head. And I get up then. Do you know the first lad that was there? Liam Everts. And I pulled in the awning. He's only, 3 years old? Or 4 years old? And to this day, I remember Liam Everts, he had like little highlights in his hair, and he went...
At 3 years old.
Or 4 years old. He's this tall. And he went...
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it obviously
I just
ran up
remember
to
him just there, and I just thought...
He was a big KTM fanboy.
Yeah, and I had a BlackBerry at the time. We were Blackberries, didn't we? It was cool if you had BBM and that. And it just was vibrating across the table. And so everyone was ringing me, everyone was messaging me, and I thought, oh God, this is bad. it's like 5 deep now around the Yamaha awning. Steve's in there loving it, and just they dropped all the awning sides, everything, zipped all the awnings up. I thought, this is not good. It's not good. And then Jeffrey was on camera, and
he was giving it large on live TV. Did you get called back into the steward's office?
He got a €5,000 fine apparently.
Yeah, for swearing.
Yeah, on live TV.
Did you get a fine?
No.
What, did you not get called into medical?
I got called in to have a chat about it, and I just said I held my line on the blue flags. It was his fault. He followed me behind.
Which you did in a one way, yeah.
I held both my inside lines, but I just missed out the fact that I slammed the brakes on. And
so
but what about the Twitter abuse you got? The abuse on...
I got so much abuse, and I used to go to Belgium and Holland a lot for riding and training. And I'd knocked that on the head for a couple of weeks. So I just thought, I got death threats, and I got emails, and I just couldn't believe the actual abuse that I got properly DM'd to me about it. And I can remember racing the next few GPs and practicing in Belgium, Holland, and that. They were throwing stuff at me.
Yeah. I remember the abuse you used to send it. Look what I've got. Just like, you should die, like, bad.
Yeah. Never come to Belgium again because you'll find me in the woods and all this sort of stuff. And yeah.
Fuck it.
Didn't affect me as much as losing the British Championship, but that stuck with me for a long time.
And then after that day, Jeffrey had a hectic day because then he had a fight with Tonus.
Oh, someone's door got ripped off in the awning in the
big
camper door got ripped off. I heard
because I remember Dave, now his practice mechanic. Was it Dave? Or
Dave
had to screw it back on, didn't he, with some tech screws?
Well, because it was Tonus's door.
Yeah, someone's door got ripped off because there was a fight, wasn't there? And
he was busy man back then.
It was a busy meeting from that side
it was.
of things.
Do you get on with him now?
So he didn't speak to me for ages. Like a long time.
Because Tommy used to have big abuse or not get on. Now they're friends.
And then we just walked around this blind corner at an airport, and I'm pulling my OGO and he's pulling his OGO, and we just walked around this blind corner and we just met at the corner, and I went, all right.
When's this? What year?
This was still that year, probably like 4 or 5 months after that. Yeah, I didn't see Jeffrey or nothing. He never spoke to me, nothing. Well, he was somewhat on speaking terms before that. I mean, they're not really mates, but like I'd talk to him if I had to, and he'd talk to me if he had to. And yeah, just full blank me. He always gave me the eyes on the start. He would have liked to have punched me, I think.
Yeah. Well, and then when you bumped in and said, all right.
Yeah, it was just random in the airport. I think we was all tired and all around this blind corner, and we just ended that meeting in the middle. I went, all right? He went, yeah. And I went, bit like your first girlfriend, mate. I don't think you're never going to get over that breakup. A bit like your first. And he was just laughing, and that was it, really.
But you're friends now?
Yeah, we're friends now. We laugh about it now a lot.
Yeah,
it stuck with him a long time, and it stuck with me a long time. Then
he don't hold a grudge like that. He's quite like now.
He just gets over.
Yeah, he gets on it. Like I get along with him well. Nice.
Yeah.
Funny. He always says the same about like it's a funny talking point now.
It's like you a little bit because he was unlikable for a long time as well, wasn't he? Do you remember a lot of people didn't like him on camera and.
Yeah, when you're trying to be the
now
best,
he's just turned into people's persons.
It's hard, isn't it? When you're trying to win and do the best, and you're in that much of a rivalry, all you want to do is get on your bike, race it, and do your best, and fucking just not talk.
It's hard in that situation when you're at a GP. Like it's busy all day. You feel awful, don't you? Like at a GP, like you wake up,
the heat.
You're so nervous. You're not hungry. You're so worried about what's going to happen. Your race is on. Like, there's not one moment of a GP weekend where you're like, no, this is good fun, isn't it?
No.
The whole time you're so worried about what's going to happen. You're overthinking things. You can't eat. You're trying to eat. You're worried about what you're going to eat, whether you've drank enough, whether you've got enough sleep. Then trying to look at the track. Then your legs feel so heavy from the minute you wake up, and you're just like, I could have rested all week, and I've woke up on a race day, and I can barely lift my legs up. You just
GPs are a big deal.
It's just weird how your body feels under that situation. So even to the end of my GP career, it's so hard to enjoy those days. So I can see why when you're out there and people there, you've got to be a very, I don't know, chatty, likeable person to like show your best side whilst under that pressure.
It's hard.
Very hard.
It's hard.
Shall we do a few quick fire questions before we get into the injury about your hand? Because that's probably quite a good talking point. So keep your answers quite short.
I've got a few.
Is there a lot then?
Yeah.
I googled you to just put like male Pocock, and it's one of the first things that come up that says male Pocock disqualified.
What? How many times?
No, it just says male Pocock disqualified. I'm not sure what you've done at that point.
Billy's seen our story and says, "No way, you useless beeps are actually doing some work." Not very nice, no at all. Right, quick fire questions.
Nice to.
What's your favourite moment in your career? Please shout me out. That was from Bo Monday.
Probably that day that at St John Angeli, where I was completely unknown to what I was going into the European Championship at. You know, the Europeans were run alongside the GPs. I went there hoping to qualify because the old man didn't want to go home early, and driving a long way back with him having the is hard work, and it winning qualifying in the two races was just such an out of this world experience that I was not expecting. So probably that stuck with me. I've got a good picture of my workshop of me winning that day.
Cool.
And probably
I've seen the picture. Well, I wouldn't say a good picture.
It's not a good picture. It's I'm fist bumping the wheels up in the air.
You're holding on for dear life with one hand.
It's awkward photo, but it means a lot.
What track haven't you rode but you would love to?
Tain in England. Scotland.
Well, you'd like to ride that?
Yeah, it looks good. I think on a nice day, it's like a little halo up there, and I always see loads of videos and pictures, and I've always liked riding in the sand. Probably in England anyways.
Biggest career choice regret, i.e. not moving teams, not starting GPs earlier, or something else?
Probably there was one specific year after losing the British Championship, I was so naive that I didn't want to do British Championship because I was going to put all my eggs in one basket to race World Championship, which I did a World Championship only year. I really wish I wasted British Championship that year.
In 13?
Yeah, because it would have given me another shot at the Championship, which
but you couldn't mentally handle it at that point.
I think at that point I was so lid on a box that I I just said GP only and that's it. I think I really wish I'd done British Championship that year.
If you was offered a factory electric or two-stroke bike now to race the GPs, would you do it?
A factory electric bike?
Start.
Like basically. A start or something?
I honestly think my GP days are over. It's like Tommy was saying, how hard and,
it's too much, isn't it?
It's a lot. The riders are really fine-tuned and I'm a little bit past all that, but the electric bikes do interest me. I think
we could ride yours on a Sunday.
Yeah, I'd probably choose the electric bike just because new things, isn't it?
Most enjoyable years or year of the GPs?
The GPs. Enjoyable. Does that go in the same sentence?
Honestly, it's hard to enjoy a GP.
Well,
you enjoy looking back on it.
I enjoy looking back on the time when I had a lot of people around us with less ties, like the years when we had Chris and, let's say, Scott Prober and Sam Davis. We was almost a bunch of lads going.
Yeah, 2011, 12 were like good crack.
Yeah, the
not
campers,
necessarily just at the race.
Driving around. Early days, obviously, I went around a lot of the GPs with Zach Osborne as well. With, traveling around. So looking back on enjoying things, perhaps, I enjoyed the racing, but it was the people around you as well.
Yeah, it's more the outside of the racing was good crack, wasn't it? What's your favourite rider from the past?
Favourite rider from the past?
Mm-hmm.
As in past. I always, at the age of young, I used to obviously watch, not obviously, but probably McGrath. Hence why I've got the old Honda 252 shakes now. I thought
you'd say hence why you've got the bug for Arenacross now. Because you wouldn't.
I was just thinking then who, but no, I would say going back to riders, I think being inspired and stuff and finding out how hard you had to work towards motocross, probably Zach Osborne, because he was a savage and always worked.
This one's quite a good one for both of you, actually. What would you do now to MXGP if you could change any of it? 1 or 2 day format, MX2 rules again, more GPs, less GPs. What would you change?
I would make the GPs more accessible to many, probably a 1 day format, and I would leave it MX2 class with an open age limit, because I believe my take on it is an under 23 World Championship on a 250. I think there should be some other rule that if you keep winning, then you have to move on up. Possibly a 1 day event, open up the rule in the 250 class, and
qualifying or something.
Yeah, I just think you can do it like an AMA. Like I know a lot of people say AMA races don't work outside of America, but I think that it can be run all in 1 day, and I think that it should be in areas of the world where it's more accessible to more teams to get the job rolling.
What's your thoughts on it?
I do agree with Mel, but then I generally think it's hard. Like I think it's hard to change what it is. I don't know what I would really change. I can see what he's saying, it was much better when I first started racing to look at it as in a way that there were so many riders trying to qualify. If you qualified, you would like you said, you was over the moon that you qualified to go to a GP, where that's completely out the window now. It's like, you've paid your money, you can go race a GP. Yeah. You didn't finish both races, no problem. Raced on a GP. It's
almost easier to race a 250 than a European.
Yeah, there's a whole thing now that there's no ambition to race a GP from riders, because anyone can do it. Anyone can race a GP, so it's not like a goal. Like, I really want to get there. I really want to qualify for a world championship. I've ticked that box. I've won, and I think that thinking about it now takes away the reason for people to go, because they're just like, well, could go. Do I want to race the last round there?
Just watch that, Mike. You're knocking it.
Do I want to race the last round there, or what do I want to do? It means nothing if you go race a GP. You know, I got a couple of 21st. No one cares, because if you'd have gone there when I first started racing in 2005, everyone was like, "What, you qualified? That was good." Like, people tried to qualify. No, don't worry, mate. You'll qualify again. Let's go again. We'll drive to France and try and qualify. And I think that took it's still
very cool in it to be able to say you won a GP or done a GP or whatever, but it's just not got the shine it had.
No, the top's not going to change. Like, the best are always going to win. You're not going to change that, but you can change the way people look at it, because the top 12 in a race, even if they were the top 12, the same like 12 that go to Argentina are the top 12 in the world, pretty much, to a certain extent.
Well, it's also because
maybe
made
a couple.
So inaccessible for many that it's only the premier teams that go, which drags the premier, the top riders. And for anyone that's half privateer, it's a big feat to even try and chisel into that sort of zone.
I think that the heat race and LCQ, 2 heat race LCQ was cool, because then Saturday, if you're going to keep it 2 days, you've got 4 races to watch. You've got an LCQ to watch, and then you get the main.
Saturday was quite cool as well, because we had 2 heats, so we didn't race each other. We didn't race everyone on. MX1 at that time was always the. They didn't have heat races ever. There was qualifying for some reason.
Oh yeah, 40-minute qualifying time.
Yeah, but the 250 class was 2 heats, and that was so good because both riders had raced, but sometimes I wouldn't race. Say Tyler or Caroli, it was like then you'd race against them on the Sunday, and it was like,
who's in your heat race? Well, I'd rather be in the other one.
Yeah, even when I was winning GPs, I'd still get my heat race and be like, "Oh, I'm in the hard one." And I could be winning. And I'd still look at that heat. 2006, every time I'd look at that and be like, count the riders 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's 13 good riders in my class. I don't want to get a bad start in that. It's going to be difficult to qualify. Like, you must remember looking at them heat race things.
I remember looking. But I think going back to the age limit and the age rule if you was to age rule anything, then it's the European class that needs to be age ruled compared to the MX2 class. I mean, why is the age rule same on the MX2 class and European? I mean, what the hell's going on? You
look back at now, like Chiodi come and race the VMXDN. Mm-hmm. He's a legend. Yeah. But all his championships, I don't know whether he's 3-time or 4-time world champion. They're all in the 250 class, but he's a legend. Do you know what I mean? He would, if he got pushed out, he may not be. He was still very good in MX1, but there's so many. Like Jamie Dobby won the thing, still British world champion. Like, no one puts a asterisk against his career because he was a little bit older.
No.
There's so many good riders then racing, and I think...
If you're going to have an age rule, it just needs to be older than 23.
It's such a short window. You're making riders go up on the 250s earlier and earlier and earlier, and a rider at 23 is not over the hill for racing a 250.
Well, also, I think now as well, that
looking back at
not as many people turn pro at the age of 16, 17 like you boys did.
It's a very...
it's a really short career.
Look at Billy Askew, for example. He's 17 next year, 16, 17. He was doing GPs, winning, podiuming, but...
Yeah, he might be 2 years of Europeans.
Yeah, and then he goes in, he's got 3 years of trying to do GPs. It's not enough.
Yeah, and also, the riders that are ready will move up anyway. If you're a 2-time world champion and you're 23, you're going to go up. If you're suited to a bigger bike rider, you're going to go up.
They would naturally go.
Yeah, I think even for me at 23, when I was going to go up, I felt ready to go up. I don't think I would have stayed down again. But
I kind of think that it almost ruins the MX1 class as well, because then that becomes so stacked. But still, there's always the top 2, 3, 4 that were going to win that, and then you get someone that's a decent rider, really good rider, but starts getting 9ths and 10ths. 1 doesn't get the TV time, 2 9ths and 10ths.
There's so many good riders that have moved out. Paul Ann.
Yeah, it's pushed a lot of riders out of the sport.
Van Horbeck. There's riders now like Van Horbeck, even myself, like you're, not that I want to do it now, but Van Horbeck come back to the GPs this year, got like a 6th in his first race back, sat the whole season out, but he's just gone, I'm not riding around in that. Like, I want Payne to be in the class, but because the young ones are coming up, because they've been pushed out, the teams are going to opt with them, and it's the young ones are going to have to ride for free to get an opportunity. And it pushes,
do you know what we should do?
The sport in that way too.
We should start another race series, us 3, because there's not enough of them.
We got 4 in England now. We get a 5th one.
I'm only messing. Yeah, we could. No. I'll start one. You start one. I think
it's easier to go. That's world. I think the British Championship would be easier to sort of change. And what we don't need is another race series.
Is shorten the races.
You think shorten the races?
Of course I do.
In the British races?
Yeah.
What, the motos?
Races. Because we've got more to give in 20 minutes. I would way rather watch a fiery 22, 23-minute race than see everyone settle for a 31-minute race. Because I've definitely settled by 27 minutes.
Well, there's only really...
22.
It's hard for you to put in effort nowadays with your 2 kids and that
yeah,
it is
it's a bit now I'm enjoying it. I'm still doing it because I can, I want to, and somehow I still enjoy racing a motocross bike at what we're doing.
VMXDN, that length of race was short. We could have a couple laps longer, but intense.
Yeah, and everyone was happy. The whole crowd was happy with that kind of racing.
Yeah, no one says could have done with a couple more laps.
No one. Look at Speedway.
No, I do think you are right a little bit there.
Like, why have we got to race for 30 minutes? I mean, half the people probably are on their
I suppose if you made them shorter, then you could...
Nothing happens.
The race is settled down. If I was looking at the British Championship now, I would be literally thinking, let's call it 25 minutes plus 1. Or 23
No,
plus
they are
1.
only that.
What about...
20 plus 2, I think. 25 plus 2. It needs to be like 20 plus 1.
If that falls on the wrong side of the minute, you are still over a 30-minute moto.
Yeah, this year, after I got injured, I was in good shape before, but then I had a few weeks off. I couldn't push in the race. I was just riding around. Because on a 450, difficult.
What about 15-minute races and have 3 of them?
Yeah, better.
I mean, you could do that. We've done that before, and I think what we done before was 20 minutes plus 2, and it was hard day's work. That was because I think some of the races landed wrong, and there were 26, 27-minute motos 3 times off, and the track gets cut out. But also as well, it's the crowd. You've got to take into consideration the crowd. When these races drag on 4, 5 podiums at 5:30, these people want to go home. I think the racing should start earlier. The qualifying should be quick, sharp, and you should almost have your first race on the line by the first pro race at least by 11. People watch the first 2 pro races straight and get something to eat for lunch. Next pro race is sort of 2. They watch the race and they're off.
Yeah,
people want to get home, put kids to bed, and they're hanging around at 5:30 in the evening. The sun's coming down. Am I right or am I wrong?
You're right. Right, more questions. How did you end up with a NASCAR? No one asked that question, really. I'm just joking.
I've got NASCAR.
They actually did ask it.
Really?
But no, yeah.
Let me answer that question.
Go on, answer it quick, though.
We went to buy a trailer about an hour from my home. Dad was like, wanted an upgraded box trailer. And went to this guy's yard, big, massive open barn and cool stuff everywhere. And I spotted this. I thought it was a stock car. Turns out it was a NASCAR 1983 or 84 from a famous car driver called Bobby Allison. And ended up buying the trailer and the NASCAR.
Good. I'm not interested.
No, I know,
but yeah,
but
good.
I've said the story now.
Someone else has asked, what Jeep have you got?
No, they haven't.
No, they haven't really.
You're just making these questions
No,
up.
that one they haven't
Just because
asked.
I've got
I knew you wanted to talk
I've
about
got
Jeep.
different interests. My interests are quite vast. Like, I have many things that I like doing. You just,
How good
you're
was
quite
your-
boring.
how good
I
or
don't know
bad?
why I'm actually friends with you outside of motocross.
How good or bad was your U-Tag Yam?
My U-Tag,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a Dixon he means. That was U-Tag that year, wasn't it?
No, it was good.
Mm.
Steve got them Yamahas going really good with the carburetors. They were actually unbelievable.
Mm. What they really was that year, unbelievable. When
The
Ferris was
final
on.
year I raced, and probably was a European, I honestly sometimes felt I was on a bike that was cheating. Because I had 3-speed gearbox, we'd moved the engine, we'd lowered it, we'd lowered the rads, we'd laid the engine. Steve was in his element building them bikes. He was shaving the engine down. We was on the weight limit. We was revving the engines to 17,500 revs. He had re-geared the clutch to the primary gears, and oh my God, he was so...
It was that good.
Element zone for Steve. Yeah, the bikes were out of this world.
Really? That good? You
Yeah,
think?
I can remember going up a hill, Hawkstone Hill. Graham Irwin was on a Yamaha, and I was obviously on a Yamaha, and I can remember coming behind him, out, round, and in front of him, on the top of the hill, I was in front of him. He's never got over that either.
What, he just says, can't believe it.
They were fast, them bikes were fast. Something else. He done really well with developing the engines.
Someone else, but what's it like being the People's Champ, and why did you come out of retirement?
The People's Champs, I don't know.
Why did you come out of retirement? Because you,
Well, I stopped,
once you'd
didn't
done
I?
your hand, you'd really...
No, I'd done my hand and I'd come back racing, hadn't I? And then COVID come around and the bikes got put away and I never really come back out.
Mm. How
You was
many
riding
years
a
did
fair
you do
bit.
after your hand?
So I did my hand in 2015.
And then obviously sat out 16
Sat
injured.
out 16, come back a little bit way through 17. I rode. Steve always promised me a bike. Ross and Steve Guttridge always said,
Just
look,
British.
yeah, if you ever want to come back racing. To me, it was a career engine injury, so everyone was just like, Mel's done. Which rightly so. I thought it was myself. So they always said, oh, if you ever want a bike, there's a bike sat in the shed for you. So that day come around, I was like, you know what? I think I might be able to ride a bike. Yeah, and that was how that come around.
So you rode 17 a little bit. You rode 18 another whole year.
18, I rode for Mark Yates.
Yeah, Revo. 19.
Hitachi, I think it was. Was it Hitachi Revo? I
Yeah.
remember then.
And then 19 did you ride?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went back racing European racing, didn't I?
Oh, with Revo again.
Oh, yeah.
You really found a loophole for a couple of years.
Yeah. Sam and
No
Mark
age limit
took me
there.
back racing because Europeans didn't have an agent rule. And we had another crack at it and managed to get the red plate halfway through the season and in and out podiums, and yeah, another really amazing good year's racing after such a big injury. Come second in the
Who beat you that year?
Boswami.
Oh,
Was 19 your last year of GPs or 18?
19.
Oh, so you was on a high and he was on a low.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was injured. I remember sat at home injured for some reason and then watching him in Red Sands.
That's it.
You won it, I think.
Yeah. I didn't. Gerald
I had a game ready on. I've got a picture of it. I can't remember what I'd broken.
Shoulder.
On the start. Was it shoulder?
Probably.
I don't think it was. What's the favourite race you've ever been part of?
Oh,
I can tell you this.
go on then.
Be
Jog my memory.
Be some sort of shitty mini bike race or something.
No, motocross.
Or Jeep racing, you like that?
No. Favourite race? Favourite race? That's actually a quite hard one.
Is it? I wouldn't
To
know.
pull that out of the blue.
What's your best finish at a GP? 6th?
No, I had a 5th in Thailand and Germany. Probably that. I was in Germany, Leipzig. It was so hot that day. I think it was a mini heat wave.
Lauschenscheid.
Yeah, and it was so hot. 40 odd. You was there, weren't
For
you?
a ginger, you went going to heat. Yeah, that was my best ever MX1 GP. Went 3.
I was proud of that because the odds are against me for being hot. Any good in the hot.
Why? I'm
ginger and fair skin. Did you know?
Yeah, but you are good in the heat.
Yeah, I don't know why though.
Got a stone in my sock.
I think I was in good shape. I was training a lot with Sol Gilbert, and I really felt good at that stage to be good in the heat.
Yeah.
Favorite race? I don't really know that one, to be honest. Probably the one coming to the end of to winning the European Championship. That was a nice feeling. The first wrap up of a championship for me was a nice feeling.
Someone else has said, what tips would you have given Tommy back in the day to help him win a world title like you?
Don't go to America.
Well, that's your tip.
Yeah, you went 1 year early, really, didn't you?
Well, yeah, if I was to look back, it'd be nice to have a world championship.
Does that affect you as much as not me winning the British Championship? Do you ever think like...
No, not really.
How many times have you been second?
3.
My tip would have been to won one of them.
No, but if was a tip that you'd have done that you think I lacked back in the day when I was training? I put a lot of effort in, didn't I?
No, you was always fit. I would give you
If
that.
you'd have been a bit nicer, you might have got some more friends to help you.
No, but we trained hard with Kirk. Like,
Kirk was savage.
Sleeve, train, repeat, wasn't it? The
Kirk's
program.
savage. So your training was on point.
Yeah, I would never said I did anything wrong, and people would say like we used to put motors in. There was never any stone really unturned that way. Well, I mean, that's me saying that. I don't think.
No, I don't think.
I don't regret that.
As your friend again, I don't think you.
I tried different ways of training.
I wouldn't say that you slacked off or was lazy in any way. You went there knowing you'd done pretty much whatever needed to be done. You just got a bit unlucky.
I think.
I would say being a bit more of a people's person, because a lot of people, a lot of times, I think
wasn't that
you
bad.
was arrogant. You was, mate. I sometimes stuck up for you. I thought he's not all right.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you've stuck up for me in the past.
Many a times.
Really?
Well, yeah, just passing conversations.
Well, he's actually all right.
I don't have to come and tell you that mate he thinks you're a knobhead.
Someone has said, what did you have to change after you done your thumb? So that gets onto like the accident with your thumb and what changed.
So yeah.
What actually happened to your? What's the? Well, it's not really
the story or what?
Well, everything, because it's an injury, but it's not really a normal injury. You can't call it anything. Like you can't say, I've done an ACL. You can say.
No. So I come into first round of the British Championship, come into a corner, and a bike went up in the air at full revs, and I was at the rut alongside it. And they didn't completely go over the handlebars, but as they went up in the air, their bike come at an angle, it pivoted, and as it come back down, it landed on the underside. So you got the chain. It landed on the underside on top of my hand. So there I am holding on like that. And the bottom side of the chain's landed here with the rider still on it at full revs and the wheel spinning. So I was basically trapped underneath it, and it just, the
like
wheel was here, tyre hit me here, it gripped up, went round the sprocket, down and in, and of course I was still moving, and it just sort of all ripped backwards. Looked at my hand at first glance, and I had compound fracture of all 4 bones. I'd nearly lost my little knuckle, lost my thumb, and these 2 fingers here were hanging on by the inside of here. So it was savage. I lost top of my hand. Went through nerves. It went through... you name it. It went through arteries. It was bone damage, bone loss. It was bad.
Bad.
It was bad. I was only with you the day before, wasn't I?
Yeah, it was bad. I
was
remember.
up here riding here, really, the week before.
Yeah, no, we were.
I think you might have been my first visitor outside of friends and families, weren't you?
Well,
I would have broken back.
There's a good picture of me and you with a back brace on.
Because you was in Derby Hospital.
Yeah.
It was at
my house.
It was at the time we was business partners in Diamond Minis. And remember, we was taking photos of the bikes and tightening them up and that, and then because I've got a photo of you holding the bike
with my thumb,
with your thumb, and once the
that was
injury,
the last photo we had with the thumb.
Yeah, and once the injury had passed him, he was a bit better, and everyone knew. Like a couple of months later, I used to send him the picture like,
"There's the thumb.
There's your thumb."
No, it was not a good injury. I think I had 11 operations. I was in ICU for 2 weeks. Bone grafts, external metalwork, fascia movement and vein reconstruction and you name it, liposuction. That's my leg on my hand now. My quad muscle out of my leg is operating my thumb. That's how much of the thumb is left. I've got quite a departed hand, so when I crawl around, it's a little bit of a mash-up as a fist. So when I'm riding, my little finger goes underneath, which is annoying.
Little finger sometimes goes underneath there?
Always goes underneath, because it's twisted. So when I end up riding, I end up on top of my little finger.
Under your finger. So not underneath the other thing. Yeah, I know what you're saying. But
coming back riding, it was sketchy because I can't hold on with my thumb. I don't have the wrap round, you know.
Yeah.
I don't have that last bit.
You had a stump at one point.
Yeah, my friend made me a cap, but I just couldn't feel to trust it.
And that was only to put in when you was riding.
That was to extend it because I was
to just give you that, like what we have there.
Bumps and coming forward. How have I adapted my riding style? Quite a lot of my pictures now, I will have one shoulder down and I'll lean in the bottom of my hand here. When I'm under throttle and under power, there's quite a few pictures of me. I'll be hanging on fingertips. I'll have my front brake adjusted a little bit closer than what the average rider would have, just so I don't have to roll on the end of my stump to reach the front brake lever when I need it. Other than that, it's a sketchy ride.
But you're dumb. So I remember you being in tears after you just finished a race when you come back in your first race at Canada Heights.
Yeah, Canada Heights. I thought it was impossible. It was an impossible road for me, like to finish the first British Championship race. Yeah, it was a big thing that maybe I still could race a motocross bike.
No, I remember.
Yeah, it was a big deal. Big injury.
Very big. You was very, very spaced out the first time I came to see you in hospital. I don't even think you knew I was there. You were just like, wow.
Good times. I'm sure we've all got injury stories, but that's
not
a
like
pretty...
That was bad. Yeah.
That was really, really bad. That one sort of went like through...
I've got like 5,000 likes on Facebook.
Yeah, but everyone knew.
What? Oh, it's good like post.
Yeah, it was a good post.
Was it?
Costly one though, wasn't it? Fucking thumb for 5 likes.
Yeah, I can remember saying to my dad when I got down to the ambulance to go and look for my thumb. That was probably the hardest thing I've ever said to him. Go back up there. It's up there somewhere, I think.
Yeah, that's gone.
Yeah, he was up there. I think he had his glasses on.
Pain in the arse that was as well, because back in the day, iPhones used to be thumb recognition, didn't they?
Someone else has just said that. How'd you operate your phone?
Not by that thumb.
No.
Let's just swap the fingerprint.
What's the next one? I'll tell you what does hurt is when I get roosted on the stump.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Oh.
There's not too many more questions. I think we can wrap it up. Just a little quick fire.
What's the future now for Mel Pocock? You've got your little business Diamond Minis that you've now eventually got your hacked Instagram back.
Oh, that was a nightmare, wasn't it? We lost Instagram.
You still running Diamond Minis? Me and you used to do that, and then I said, I've got not enough time anymore.
Me and Ed was founders of Diamond Minis. That was how long ago did we start that?
14, 15, I think.
So Diamond Minis is still running. It produces mini bike parts, but yeah, we lost the Instagram page to Russian hackers that wanted a 2,900 quid to get it back.
You windled them down to 500 though, didn't you? And then just
still didn't pay.
He'd become my mate.
Used to talk to him a lot.
So I had him on WhatsApp because he hacked the account, which my number was on there. So I was WhatsApping him. And I'd send him stuff to say, post that up for me. And he'd say, yeah, that's fine. I'll put it on your bill. And then
did he actually post things for you?
Yeah, he used to repost stuff. And then he would message me saying, I've still got your account, mate. And I go, yeah, I know, mate. So some hackers. And then he just disappeared. So whether I've ever sent the money, would I've got it back? I don't know. But Diamond Minis has got a new Instagram account.
You said he was actually all right.
At some point he was all right, yeah. Chatting along, but he just was playing the game, which I was playing the game back for him and all. So I don't think he's come across someone like me like that before.
So, but you're still doing that now?
Yeah, I run that as well. But there's a month. We're juggling act back down south because we're quite north up here for me. We're on the Sunset Coast, aren't we, of East Sussex?
Mm.
And then you're racing obviously for Dirt Store this year.
Yep.
Happy about
just
that or not?
Just like yourself, mate.
Teammates in your new O'Neill gear, your bell helmet.
Come around.
I talked you back into racing again, really, didn't I? Last year's Arenacross.
I will have to say you've brought me back on the scene.
I talked you into Arenacross bad last year because you was going, I'm not going to do it, and I said, go on, what? Like, you might as well, don't you? So there's not going to be many years you're going to want to race anymore.
A dangerous experience, which I'm guessing it's just all right around the corner for round 2. But yeah, this year I'm going to race 250s this year, aren't I, Tom? Lost a bit.
In motocross?
Yeah, in motocross, British Championship. It's called the Dirt Store British Motocross, isn't it?
Dirt Store Kawasaki. That's it.
And the Dirt Store British.
Oh, yeah, we're racing the Dirt Store British Championship for Dirt Store Kawasaki.
Yeah.
So if you need anything, go to Dirt Store.
Are they having a shop there every round, I believe?
I think they're going to have a store at the race. I'm not sure, but it's an online shop, Dirt Store, if you don't know what that is, by now, where they just sell pretty much everything. Rider gear, oils,
the whole
bike
vast
parts.
of stuff. It's a big website now, isn't it?
Big website, big inventory.
I think they just banged out
Big
some
shop.
Black Friday deals. I was looking at them.
I'm doing some of them as well.
You got Black Friday deals?
Yeah, I'll...
some of my old merch.
No, this is what the Kex Black Friday deal, which will probably be out by the time this is out. In fact, it will be. The Black Friday deal is mystery styles, so mystery prints, mystery cottons, mystery socks, all at 50% off.
Men or women?
Only men. I can't remember. It's 50 or there's
No discount on the women's
some form of a discount on it, and it's a good discount. So then, if you buy it, you don't know what you're getting. You might get this print, that print.
What if they don't like it when it arrives?
You got 50% off tough.
You got 50% off.
That's it.
Yeah. And
It's
then
a surprise.
Oh, it's a surprise.
Yeah, so they can get excited about it. They all fit nice, don't they? So you can't really be disappointed. Whenever you put a new set of Kex on, you're like, fucking nice that. It's just a nice feeling. So
in general, the people's review on it is top notch, isn't it?
thanks.
But we got, and then what else said? What else you got to tell them?
Well, then following that, we've got all new merch from Billy Bolt, all new Kex Clobber, your new stuff.
Got a t-shirt coming for me.
T-shirt coming for you. Then what we'll do is we'll sort of ride her on into December, and then we'll pick up where we left off with the Arenacross tour and the Arenacross vlogs. And actually, we're making the Arenacross merch, so all the Kex merch, all the Arenacross merch is Kex collab. So there'll be loads of new stuff at Arenacross.
So you know it's top quality gear,
top tier.
But I'm excited about Arenacross. That's coming up soon. So check it out, because the first round is on the January the 6th.
Manchester.
In Manchester, then Belfast, then Aberdeen, and then NEC and London. Probably was so good last year, wasn't it? We had the best time.
It was good. It was like a whole bunch of stag do's, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, no,
we only went out once.
We went out
Belfast
once.
the only time we went out.
I'm joking.
But
I know it was good.
It was just a nice time with the boys.
Yeah.
The atmosphere in the pits is good. The racing I enjoyed. Every part of it mega. So
it's good crack because winter's shit.
Yeah,
and that made
I'm
winter
looking
go
forward
quick.
to that now.
Yeah, that made winter go well.
Like, we've rode up there today, and even though the weather's a bit overcast, it's like, we'll just get through this couple of months, and then we'll be racing Arenacross, and then we can back on the bright side, maybe a week in Spain.
Do you know what they need to do before all of that?
What?
Just tune into your next video, because us three are off to see young William Bolt race on Saturday night.
I'm looking forward to that. It's this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, super enduro.
Yeah, we're going out.
I've bought some new shoes for that.
Tommy's bought some bad shoes the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, no, I've been getting grilled the last couple of weeks. I don't even want to open my phone. Like, I see there's like 36 messages on WhatsApp, and I just think, what's happened now? Like, what have they found? And it's just been relentless the last 2 weeks. I just sometimes I've really been like borderline deleting myself from the group chat because it's got too much. Bought a set of shoes. They said they look like wellies. Bought another set of shoes. They're green. They were apparently awful.
The green ones are
bought
right.
a jacket. That's horrendous. I've been at a weekend in London with the missus. I done the wrong thing there. It's just been relentless. And
You've
that
left
video
your door
surfaced.
wide open.
The video surfaced. That was bad time. Other videos got brought up from the past. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Can we bring that video onto
no
follow-up vlogs, videos?
Maybe you can just put it in a little bit at the end of this. You can just
Have you
put
got
one
any of
clip
that-
in.
have you got any of that
the
accent?
best part, and you can put Mel's bit with Hurlings in.
The best part is I'd rather get 10th
No,
and look
that's
good
not.
than 5th and look bad.
Oh, it's all awful. I think on that note, we should fucking call it a day, because that's bad. I'm getting all hot and flustered.
Are you done? Anything to add, Mel? Where can they follow you and find you and see what's what? Do you do anything on Instagram, social media?
Most of the videos we put up is either what you've created for me.
You'll be in the vlogs
or,
though, won't you?
Class Acts of Exas Media.
Mel's very good to have around.
I'm a good morale person, and I
just naturally quite a funny man to be around.
I'm not.
What do you mean? No, you are like, I just find you quite funny. You don't have to do funny things. I just think it's funny.
The funny things you do are stuff like this is one example of how funny you are. Tommy Stag do, right? You don't say anything to no one. You turn up to the airport at 5 a.m.
Black hair,
jet black eyebrows. What the fuck?
It was good. I wouldn't have been able to keep that a surprise.
I told no one.
Oh, the stag do. The story's not even coming out about the stag do.
Yeah, but that's your stag do. That's why it's probably not surfaced about your stag do.
We can do the end. That's how it started. He turned up with black hair out of nowhere, just dyed his hair.
I've never actually seen you laugh that hard.
And then how it ended
ages,
was Mel was on a table like this about 30 minutes before we had to leave to the airport, getting a B12 injection in his arse, trying to revive him back round.
Bad, really bad.
No, not a B12. It would have been something serious.
The results I got out of that injection were incredible. I can only describe as what
it got you through the airport and onto the plane.
GP.
We was flying out, and for my stag do, we done a week in Cancun.
A week? It was like 9 days. I can't hack 9 days out on a trot.
It was my fault again because Mel wanted to stay in bed, and I said nah, because in another week and a half when you're sat at home on the sofa, you'll be thinking, fucking hell, I wish I was.
You was kept the spirits high, but that one night. That I think if Mel could have just
I could have done without it, and it just tipped me right over the edge. Didn't I? I just got so ill, whole body shut down, shaking,
couldn't get on the plane,
shivering, sick. Just the room. I felt like my absolute worst when we had to sign out the room. So I was in the foyer, just shaking and sweating, shivering and crying, and just awful. And I got to the doctors, and it cost. I think it was like €500 I spent on injections.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It vibed you up.
Yeah, it's done me a 180. I was. Brand new.
Yeah, and then you died about 3 hours into the flight again.
Yeah, 10-hour flight, and it just dropped off the face of the earth. And I was just so ill. I get to Gatwick Airport, and again...
Didn't you drive straight from the airport to the hospital?
No, I was stood on the short stay pick up, and I was just waiting for my mum to come pick me up, and it was so cold, and it was just like, oh, we come from Cancun. She drove straight past me, and I just burst into tears because she missed me. I just rang up. You just driven past.
Well, you broke down.
Yeah, that was it. So there's a few times.
That off season, that was your year finished.
I was riding for Lee Toland, Acer KTM. That was 2019. A year I did on a 450, and it just ruined my off season.
You had no off
season. It took me about 3 months to get over that holiday. I was so bad.
Remember,
it was all your fault.
Bless you.
Funny though.
That's enough, I think.
Right, well, tune in.
Questions?
Yeah, tune into Arenacross vlogs to see Mel in action again.
Thank you, guys.
Hope Dirt Store have got plenty of handlebars and
Mel
stuff.
didn't want to do this. He said he's got nothing to say, but I think it went quite well. Good guest, and we will try and make the effort to get someone else on, because even Billy just see when we post it up, and he just put, no way you morons have took the time to do a podcast. So we will try and get another one out this time.
So Bill, if you're listening to this,
Bill,
fuck you.
We should ask if they've got any candidates they'd like to hear from.
You was a big request, if I'm honest. Yeah, you've been a big request.
I've probably got a lot more
to
to
say.
say.
Who we can get on. I mean, there's a few guests, and we can get some people on. But if you type in the comments who you'd like to see on the podcast next, because whilst Billy's away, he's not coming back for a long time, it seems. He's back for a couple of days here or there, but probably won't have time to squeeze one of these in. So if there's someone you want to see on the podcast, put it in the comments, and we'll see what we can do. Over and out.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.